felt like coming out to see if I can catch a fish and relax. This specific pond, I've been coming here for a few years. I kind of found it on Google Maps. It's close by the house. And when I first started fishing a few years ago, I decided to come here and see if there was any bass in it, and I ended up catching a few nice fish, so I've been coming back ever since. I would say this spot is kind of hidden. It's back in a neighborhood. It's a small pond. A lot of people wouldn't think there's bass in here, but there are some really good sized fish in here. The main goal is to try and catch some fish, more fish than I did the last time, and quality fish. Every time I come out here, I try and do better than I did the last time. There are definitely challenges when you're fishing. One would be getting your lure stuck in a tree and trying to get it back. It's definitely a challenge. But sometimes you get your lures stuck on a stump or something, and you can kind of wiggle it out every now and then. And then every now and then you lose some bait. So there are challenges, but I try and stay pretty chill while I'm fishing. Don't get too upset about it. Definitely breathe. Try pretty much just understand that you can always buy another lure. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's just very relaxing. Even though it's a neighborhood pond in an apartment complex. There's geese, there's birds flying around, there's blue herons, all kinds of stuff in the area. Every now and then you see rabbits, something like that, and it's just very chill. It's definitely therapeutic to me. I come out here to relax, and sometimes if I'm having a bad day, I might just drive here and fish for an hour or two, and it cheers me up. Well, definitely you need to have patience if you're going to be fishing. Sometimes it's really hard to catch a fish, and sometimes you might go out and not catch any fish at all. So you got to be patient. Just know that one day it's gonna pay off, or that lure that you changed the color, it might work. So same thing in life. It helps me clear my head. Most of the time I'm out here by myself if I'm in a small pond, or I'll invite a friend to hang out and talk. But it's just very chill, relaxing, and I enjoy the nature and the weather. There was 2 ponds on the map, so I started at the front pond and I ended up catching a nice sized bass, and then I came to the back pond. In my first cast I caught a fish as well, so it got me hooked. But one time I threw my lure out there. It was a fluke, and basically it imitates a fish. It's a small 4-inch fish looking lure that it's a classic jerkbait. I threw it out there and I let it sink to the bottom, and I got a text message. So I looked at my phone and I had my rod wedged into my shoulder, and I felt a tug, and I was like, oh, I got a fish. I set the hook, and it ended up being the biggest fish I caught in this pond, which is about 4 pounds, 2 ounces. Yep. In one word. Unpredictable. Yeah, because I feel like someone who's never been here would not think there were fish in this pond, and they wouldn't think it'd be possible to actually have life in a little pond like this, but there's a lot of fish in it. Yeah, a lot of people are introverts. They like to stay inside. I feel like sometimes you need to get outside and get some fresh air and enjoy the weather. Whether you're fishing or hiking or any of that nature. So I think it's very therapeutic to just get out here and enjoy life. Probably as a good fisherman. I know people see me catch fish and they're like, oh wow, that's a good fish, and they're like, we didn't know there was fish in here, and they live here, I just come in and I fish it and enjoy it.